Welcome everyone to the Adaptive PE channel. Today we're going to talk about core. Okay, look, you don't have to do an exercise like that to strengthen your core. But this is a good starting point. What is the core? What are we talking about? What muscle groups are we talking about? And how do you strengthen it? What does it really mean? We're going to cover all of this today. Okay, when you're talking about the core, you're really referring to the abdominal muscles, which is crucial. Now, what do the abdominal muscles do? They do a lot of things. They actually not only strengthen your lower back, they help with your breathing as well. One of the common misconceptions is, how trim is my midsection, okay? It's good to have a trim midsection, but a lot of times people conflate the idea of strong abdominals with good-looking aesthetics in terms of your midsection or your abdominals. And there's no doubt there is a correlation. If you're in really good shape, you will have better looking abs than if you're not in good shape. But here's the thing. Strong abs doesn't necessarily mean a great looking six-pack. Most of that has to do with diet. And this is not going to be a video on diet. This is going to strictly be a video on core strength and how to do it. Okay, the benefits of strengthening abdominal muscles are really as follows. Number one, it helps strengthen your spine and your lower back. So it offers support, because too often in society, when we sit too much, our abdominals get weak. So the erector muscles in the back have to do way too much. And when these muscles are doing way too much, they start to complain. They'll ache. You'll oftentimes experience lower back pain or back spasms. Back spasms are pretty common with people that have weak abdominal muscles, and they're over-relying on their erectors, their lower back muscles. Okay, now the other thing is it helps with breathing, believe it or not. You have your intercostals. I don't know if you've ever heard the term, it's called diaphragmatic breathing. So you're breathing through the abdominal area, not just in your chest. Singers are experts at that. And that's a common thing that will help. And I'm going to very briefly go over that. And the way you want to do this, you want to lay down. You want to put your hand on your abdominal area and take a long deep breath through your nose. You'll feel your stomach rise, and then exhale through your mouth. You'll feel your stomach go in. So once again, breathe through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. You want to be a diaphragmatic breather, because if you are just breathing through your chest, through the mouth, not through the nose, you're going to develop some tightness in the neck. And also, you're not really going to be using your abdominals in the proper way, because when you do lift weights or you do some of these exercises I'm going to teach you right now, you're not going to fully utilize your core strength, okay? All right, so the first one that I like, and this is basically a prerequisite for a foundational strength movement is what I would call it. If you can't perform a crunch 30 seconds in a really proficient way, then I'm not going to give you weight to lift. I'm not going to give you any compound movements, because you're showing me you don't have the core strength yet. So how do you develop that core strength? Well, this is called the hard style plank. This is the plank that I think is crucial for everyone to do. Now, you may not be able to start here, but the goal is to at least be able to finish here, okay? So we're going to start with the hard style plank, and then I'm going to show you a modified way of doing this. So you're going to get on all fours, start things off. What you're going to do is go down to your forearms. You want to make sure there's a straight line between your elbow and your wrist. You don't want it like a triangle. You're going to push into the ground with the forearms. You're going to go one leg back, then put your other leg back. Now, you want to zipper your legs together, engage your abdominals, engage your butt muscles,
And you want to hold this for 30 seconds, okay? A 30-second plank is the goal here. You want to breathe the whole time. Now, I don't have a clock spinning right now, so I'm going to kind of go over this in my head. If there's a little bit of shaking going on, that is good, because you're engaging the proper muscles, which is your abdominals. Okay, when you get to the end of 30 seconds, take a breather. Now, you don't need to do more than a 30-second plank. In fact, you're better off doing 2 sets of 30 seconds than trying to do a full 1-minute plank. And why is that? Well, it's very easy to cheat on a plank. What I mean is, when your abdominals start to get tired, it's very easy to lift your hips and put all your weight into your shoulders. But you don't want to do that. You want to have equal weight distributed between the forearms and the feet. You want to engage those abdominal muscles and, squeeze your legs together. That's called zipper. And get your glutes tight. Now you're generating a lot of force. And the truth is, you should be able to generate a lot of muscle tension and force without even having to lift anything, just using your body weight. Okay, now, what if it's too hard for you to do a plank like this? And I get it. This may be too advanced of a movement for you at the moment. Well, there is a modified version of it, a beginner part of it, and that's what I'm going to show you now. Okay, here's an example of a modified plank. What you want to do here is get your body in a straight line. So, you want to contract your butt muscles, squeeze your butt muscles, contract your abdominals, push into the chair. Now you notice there's a straight line between my feet all the way up my spine to my neck, okay? I'm pushing against the chair, I'm creating tension by engaging my abs, my glutes. That's the position you want to hold. Now, just like the hard style plank, it's easy to cheat, and this is what I mean. If you get in this position here, and you hinge your hips and lift your butt, like hike your butt up like that, now you've taken all the load off the abdominals. As soon as you're able to get your pelvis in the right position so your spine is completely straight, and you're physically pushing into the chair, now you have a plank because you're developing tension. Now, I know what this looks like. This looks like a push-up, and it is the same position as a push-up. But keep in mind, in order for you to do a hard style push-up, guess what? You got to be able to do a hard style plank. And this is going to teach you the foundation, the strength foundation, to do a push-up in the future, okay? This is your modified plank. This is going to allow you to do the plank I just showed you on the mat. Okay, this is one of my all-time favorite core exercises. This is called the farmer carry. So, the way you'll relate to this, if you've ever traveled and you've gone through an airport and you have to carry a heavy suitcase, this is essentially what it is. Some people call these suitcase carries. Now, how does this relate to core strength? Well, when you're hanging on to or gripping very heavy weight and you're walking, your abs have to engage to support your spine. Now, the beauty of doing a farmer carry is it's good for your postural stability. It's going to take care of all your upper back muscles, which are good for posture. It's also going to take care of increased grip strength and overall leg strength, including your quads, your glutes, your hamstrings. So, what you do is you find a weight that's pretty heavy. You pick it up, make sure your shoulders blades are retracted and the shoulders are depressed, and you're just going to walk. Walk like 50 feet. And then when you get to the end of 50 feet, you set the weight down. Okay? That's a great exercise for strengthening your core as well as all of your postural stabilizers, like I mentioned. Your lats, which is your upper back muscles, these muscles here, very good for strengthening your legs, primarily your quads, your glutes, your hamstrings, and grip strength. Grip strength is the number one thing that we lose as we age. Now, another way to challenge yourself on a farmer carry, it really puts a lot more stress on the core, is to do a farmer carry on one side. So I'm going to start with my left side. And this is really tough because
If you don't have the core strength in your abs and your external obliques, the weight's going to pull you the direction that you're holding it. You want to resist that direction and keep yourself centered. So you walk, same thing, 50 feet. Keep the shoulder blade depressed and retracted. Then when you get to the end of 50 feet, you switch and do the other side. Now you can do these with dumbbells. I'm doing it with a kettlebell right now. You can also do it with a sandbag or any type of, when I mean a sandbag, like an exercise sandbag with a handle on it. But you can do this with essentially anything that weighs a lot that you can safely secure with your grip strength. All right, this is just a little video on how to strengthen your core, why it's important, and I'll come back to you again in the future, everyone. All right, don't forget to like and subscribe. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments section. Thank you.